Okay, so in today's video about QNT, first we are going to do a short-term analysis and see what is going on in this area, and then we are going to go on some higher time frames, and I'm going to talk about a very important question that one of my viewers asked in the previous video and tell you why we have actually seen something like this before, and we are going to see what happened after it. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones, and let's just go on some lower time frames, maybe 30-minute chart, and dive in and see what is going on in this area. So first things first, this shadow right in here only exists on KuCoin. In other words, if you go on some other charts, you can definitely identify a very classic triangular structure in the short term, and this broke on the downside. Now here's the key. In this move, I don't think that we have actually taken this loss, so it does make sense for QNT to have at least another move on the downside, something like this, and then okay, fair enough, we can get a very strong bounce back. Nonetheless, the point that I'm trying to make is this: in my opinion, soon this phase on the downside in quant is actually going to be over, and overall, we talked about this a couple of videos back. I believe we are actually having a Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and odds are that this is going to be our final test, which in it we are probably going to take the lowest low down here about, let's say, $94.50. Now, personally for me, right around here is not really actually a decent opportunity. I'm gonna wait a bit more and see, are we going to get a relatively deeper move on the downside and maybe reach to somewhere around $85, and if we go down and actually reach to about this very important support region between 75 to about 79 bucks, okay, that's going to be a very different story, and I promise you, you are going to see me talking about opening some serious long positions in QNT in this area, because the risk to reward ratio according to my strategy is going to be at that point at least 1 to 3, which is just for me fantastic. So for now, I don't think that this is actually a long opportunity, but let's wait a bit more and see where we go from here. And who knows, maybe soon I'm going to change my mind. And you have actually seen something like this before. This is actually a very important support area from weekly and daily time frame at the same time between, let's say, 101 to about $110. Now, if you want to say this region is broken, you need to go on weekly charts, see a candle close under here, pull back, and then a continuation of the move down in order to take this low. At that point, we can say this is a confirmed broken support area. And I have a feeling that we are actually going to do something like this in quant. We're going to go down maybe a bit more, and then at that point, a lot of people are going to say, oh, look, this support is broken, and now we are going to have, let's say, like a 30% move on the downside. But in here, I'm gonna say you are probably going to see a very strong bounce back, and that is going to destroy a lot of people who actually opened some short position in this area. I have seen this pattern play out way too many times. So in terms of short-term price action, nothing really to be worried about, and not a whole lot is actually happening in here. And I think we need to wait a bit more. Now let's go on daily time frame, and maybe it's best to go on a less busy chart, maybe from crypto.com. Yeah, sure. Okay. So first things first, you need to ignore this shadow right in here. This actually doesn't exist in real life, but one of my viewers in the previous videos actually said that price action like this in QNT is actually kind of unprecedented, and I have never ever seen something like this before. This is really odd, and it suggests that we are probably going to see huge moves on the downside. Now, this is one opinion. I can absolutely respect it, but I don't think that I'm going to agree with your thesis. You see, we have actually seen something like this before. If you don't remember it, it is actually XRP. Let's go on crypto.com's chart. Excuse me. There we go. So what did we have XRP back down around these areas? A very strong move down, followed by that some sort of a retracement, and then some more sideways price action. And what happened in this region? We got our breakout. And I think because this is a 7-year long-term drawn-out correction structure, because of it, this move on the upside in Ripple is actually going to get extremely extended. And in quant, I think we are actually having something very, very similar. Don't believe me? Okay, let's just copy the fractals in here and see what is going on. There we go. Let's just cut this thing and go back on QNT's chart. Okay, so let's just zoom in more and paste our fractal and adjust the size. There we go. What do we see in this area? In Ripple, we had a relatively strong move down. In QNT, the same happened. Followed by that, in Ripple, we got an ABC on the upside. And I'm going to say so far in Quant, because I don't want to be accused to being an absolute moon boy, this is actually an ABC and not an impulse. And then we started a boring move on the downside to about here. And in Quant, we are actually having something very, very similar. Now, what happened in XRP? Well, as it turns out, this was actually a triangle structure. And after this phase was over, we got a huge move on the upside. And in Quant, you remember the previous video, right? I talked about the possibility of having a bullish triangle structure right in here. And this is going to be the upper line for it. There we go. And I told you, look, according to this line, you can say our triangle is broken. Or maybe if you want to do this, there we go, you can say we are on our way to complete this triangle structure and soon we are going to get the big breakout. And I told you, if you want to go according to this bullish pattern, the target for it in that case is going to be somewhere around $600 plus. So here's a question. Why do you believe that we haven't seen something like this in QNT before in any other chart? This is a very, very normal consolidation pattern, which usually leads to, based on my experience, extreme extensions. Now, to be fair, I absolutely understand why are you worried around the current price action, because back down here when XRP was somewhere around 40 to 50 cents, in every single one of my videos, I was getting a lot of hate comments and people were saying, why are you so optimistic in XRP? We will never ever go up to somewhere around the all-time high. And I was saying back then, we're gonna go at least to somewhere around $10. And I really got a lot of hate comments for it. So I get why people are really angry and also disappointed around this area. But trust me, I have seen these patterns play out before. This is going to lead to a massive move on the upside. And once we get this thing right in here, you are actually going to forget all of this sideways price action, because in this phase, I promise you, you are going to make quite a bit of money. And even if you don't care about similar patterns and fractals, okay, let's talk Elliott waves. I think we are having in this area a series of 1-2s, meaning odds are that this is 1, 2, big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And this white 5 wave up is actually going to be into a larger degree wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. And let's change the colors to orange. There we go. And here's a top tip for you. You see, it seems like in QNT, soon we are going to start a big wave 3, which belongs on a higher degree to a larger degree wave 3. Now, in terms of Elliott's waves, the idea is that this move on the upside is going to be absolutely magnificent and huge. Why is that? Because wave 3 is usually a big move up. I'm not going to say that we are guaranteed to get a very strong extension into our wave 3. No, we can have extensions into our wave 5. And we talked about this subject before. In the crypto market, we usually do actually have a habit of the price action getting extended into wave 5. But this doesn't mean that our wave 3 is not going to be a big move up. No, for example, for this wave 3, we can actually reach to somewhere around $600 and then correction for 4. And in this move into our wave 5, we can have a fantastic extension. And I'm not really going to talk about the targets for this move because, again, I'm going to get accused of being an absolute moonboy, and I just do not want that kind of a smoke. So the point that I'm trying to make is this. In Quant, I fully understand why you are disappointed in this phase. This is taking quite some time, but it is very normal. We have seen this before, and I think based on what I'm seeing here in the short term, soon our move down is actually going to be over. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Quant's price chart. Anyway, If you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.